Good morning, everybody. We have a brand new banner that just went live, and that means we've got some units and stats to look at regarding the Season for Picnics banner, which everybody really seemed to be down with, even though we had some Fates characters in it. I'm glad. I'm glad it didn't get ruined for anybody. But we're going to go ahead and start with Flora here. Flora, of course, has that beast-killing weapon. And it reduces foes' attack and defense by half based on the difference between res and foes' res, and does I'm not going to go through and read that again, but it does a lot of stuff along with the normal defense res -7 dagger aftermath stuff. She's got Iceberg, and then an Ether Raid's defense attack res. That has to do with the amount of structures that you have, not necessarily like the decorations, but the actual structures that you've got. So it's kind of an Ether Raid's heavy mode, but she's still fantastic, honestly. Nevertheless, you could easily swap that out for like a solo or some other kind of weird A slot skill that you come up with. I'm sure somebody will build something unique for Flora here. She's got Bolt Fighter 3 and Armor March 3. Now her stat line is a little bit interesting. She has 43 HP, 38 attack, 22 speed, 29 defense, and 38 res. So honestly, pretty beefy for such light-hearted heroes this time around. Everybody in this banner honestly is pretty good stats, to be honest. So. The thing that's kind of interesting about Flora, we don't have a red dagger armor unit yet. She is the first. But we do have 2 armor dagger units, that being Halloween Kagero and Winter Cecilia, one of which is a free-to-play unit, and the other one we literally just had on a legendary banner. And they follow the same stat line pretty evenly, to be upfront. They don't deviate too far apart. I think, yeah, Kagero and Cecilia are both at 165. Flora here is at base 171, so obviously quite a bit different in stats. But the overall arc of the stat line, pretty similar. Overall, I would say that Flora's pretty good. I'm going to go 4 gold blooms because... yeah, even with the Ether Raid's defense thing, she's still pretty solid. Next up, we have Lukas, who, honestly, I was surprised with. Because, given his base kit, I wasn't really expecting much in terms of stats. And, I gotta tell you, I'm pleasantly surprised. But he has the Luncheon Lance, which grants attack defense +4 during combat if foe initiates it. Then we've got Pivot. Ether Raid's offense, which is basically Ether Raid's defense with the offense. So if you're leading an attack in Ether Raids, based on the number of structures your opponent has, it boosts your attack and defense a certain number of times. And then we have Weary Fighter, which I feel like is kind of just everywhere. So overall, Lukas he's all right. And if there's one unit I can see getting demoted, it's probably this one. Not that I think Ether Raid's offense is like should be 5-star locked, but I think if you had a skill like this to make Ether Raiding a little bit easier for some people, it might help them get through it a bit, if that makes sense. To me, it does. They're trying to encourage Ether Raids, making the game mode easier by having a certain unit might be beneficial. I don't know, but more than likely, nobody in this banner is getting demoted because of all the new exclusive skills and or just general bonker stat lines. So Lukas has 51 HP, 37 attack, 21 speed, 42 defense, and 22 res. Now, if you're wondering, hey, that seems kind of familiar. It's actually pretty darn close to the stat line of Brave Hector. If you've heard of him. But same attack, basically same speed. Lukas has like a little bit more defense, but a little less res. Overall, pretty close. Lukas is rocking a 170 BST. Some other similar units are Genny, or not Genny, sorry, Gwendolyn. I'm looking at my notes over here. Gwendolyn and Effie, if you're going that free-to-play option, or maybe you chose Brave Hector as your free Brave unit that you got. If that's the case, he's pretty similar as well. And honestly, if you don't care about either raids, then the kit has like no benefit to you at all, except maybe Luncheon Lance, because that's, you know, it's kind of a cool built-in effect to have. Overall, I gotta give 3. I gotta give 3 Gold Blooms. Like, I don't know. The Gold Bloom rating scale is normally pretty flawless, but I feel torn because I really like Lukas. The art is awesome. Greg Chun is like just a god, and I don't know. The unit in general, though, a little underwhelming. Genny, do I even need to go over her? Because we all know y'all are gonna pull on her. Y'all know you're gonna do it. We'll do it anyway. So Toasty Skewer, she was featured in the teaser banner that we had. They were marshmallows. I wasn't sure if they were marshmallows. They were definitely marshmallows. So if foe initiates combat against an ally within 2 spaces of this unit, it grants defense res +3 to that ally during combat. So kind of like a weird sort of drive in inter-combat weird skill. I dig it though. It's really cool. So Toasty Skewer Plus, I'm a fan. She's got Physic Plus, Fire Flood Balm Plus, Wrathful Staff, because of course she does, and Defense Opening 3, which is a new skill that we had. So, you know, your typical opening skill, just based around defense. We evidently do have all the other ones, so this was the last one that we were evading here. The most recent one, I think, was the Valentine's banner, if I'm not mistaken. So we do have a new Cav staff unit. That is Genny. I'm disappointed she's not in the deer. Like, you know, like she's on a horse, but she should be on a deer because there's a deer right there. Either way. HP of 35, attack of 36, speed of 24, defense of 14, and res of 34. Now, if you're looking for somebody who's similar to her, Elise or Maribel are really it. She kind of has like a bonkers attack, but she's not very fast. And most of the other staff units that we have along this stat line kind of flip. So they might have high attack, but they have higher defense than res, and they're faster, or they're faster, but they don't have as much attack. So if you want a high attack, high res healer, those Genny and then Maribel and Elise are kind of your main options. There's always Brave Veronica too. You know, she's absolutely monstrous, but the stat line doesn't exactly fall similarly. She's a little bit faster. She's got a little more defense. So that's why I didn't necessarily include her on this list, but the other two are pretty darn close. Overall, pretty solid unit, I would say. I'm going to go 4 Gold Blooms. I said it. I did it. I'm not afraid. Felicia. Oh my. Oh, do I have some things to say about Felicia. I genuinely think she was kind of the standout in this banner. No joke. So she has another beast-killing weapon that is, again, based around res. But it reduces attack and speed instead of attack and defense like Flora's does. She's also got Glacies, she's got Speed Defense Bond 3, she's got Special Fighter 3, and she's got Close Guard. Felicia 100% wins the, oh my god, how many skills can you fit in one unit's kit that are amazing pull. Like that, she just wins it. Close Guard, I mean, that's pretty good. Special Fighter, amazing. Speed Defense Bond, amazing. Now, when I saw this, I was like, that's curious. I wonder what her stats are going to be like. Because when you see Speed Defense Bond 3 with a weapon that, you know, dictates you must have high res, and then you've also got Special Fighter, and then, you know, Close Guard too, like, you might, well, what stat's not going to be that fantastic? Evidently the attack. She's only got 30 attack, which honestly, in her pool as an axe armor unit, isn't necessarily that fantastic. But her HP is 43. Her speed is 37. I don't understand armor units. Defense of 30 and res of 35. So, like, I could get behind the idea of, oh, they have a bunch of heavy hiking gear on, so it takes longer for them to, like, move, and they're not as fast. But then you go and give them 37 speed? IS, I don't get you, alright? I don't understand the armor fetish you have going on, but... haha, I don't understand. So, similar units-ish, and I say that lightly, because Felicia's packing 175 BST, by the way. Amelia, who is another semi-speedy, semi-low attack, comparatively, axe armor unit, as well as Winter Lissa, who is not nearly as fast. She's only got base 30 speed, but overall, kind of similar. Felicia is a little unique in that aspect, honestly. She's similar to Flora, and even to an extent, kind of Genny. They have very, very kind of unique stat lines that are kind of more tailored to what needs to be done, I guess, in the current meta. 37 speed is ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's just insane. That is absolutely insane. Yeah, I mean, genuinely, in terms of a very crowded movement weapon pool, that is the axe armor pool with a lot of free-to-play options. Her stat line's very different. Her base kit is amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and say 5 gold blooms. I think Felicia kind of wins this banner in terms of overall everything. Flora, definitely, you know, she's got some cool stuff. You know, Armor March is super dope. In terms of the Ether Raid defense, I think that's pretty neat. Her weapon's cool. But if you don't care about Ether Raids, then Felicia is definitely the one that you're going to want to pull for. But she, again, you know, you may have already invested in an axe armor unit, so I don't know. There's good and bad. You got to take the good with the bad, right? So there we go. There are our units. I do have the info on our Spring Tomato Prince, Leo. However, I'm not going to be releasing him until the Tempest Trial starts. So we'll look at his stats and skills and stuff then. I haven't actually looked at it. I don't know what he's packing yet. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments down below. Are you going to poll? Are you excited about these units? I bet you probably are. Feel free to subscribe if you like. I do a lot of Fire Emblem Heroes content and some other Nintendo stuff. I'm currently trying to ramp up for the Dragalia Lost Fire Emblem Heroes crossover. This is going to be a big old summon session for that if we get an adjacent banner or showcase, I guess. I don't know if that's going to happen. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will catch you next time.